So guys, is there anybody out there that is currently skipping breakfast? Put up your hand. If you're skipping breakfast, I want to just congratulate you. You're now an intermittent faster. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Intermittent Fasting. I kid a little bit, really. And I think that's sort of the interesting thing. It's become very popular to be an intermittent faster. It's like it's a badge that people wear. It's almost like saying that, you know, I'm vegetarian, or I'm a CrossFitter, or I'm a Scientologist. I don't even know. There's lots of different labels that people use for their life, and I try not to really latch on to anything. I think there's important aspects, important principles that we can pull from all these different areas of life and apply it to be a really good plan for you. But that being said, intermittent fasting is really popular. What does it mean that you're going through periods of fasting? Then it is a period where you're eating. Technically, everyone's intermittent fasting while they're sleeping. So, I mean, I said that only if you skip breakfast you're intermittent fasting, but realistically, everyone's intermittent fasting as long as they're not, you know, sleepwalking / sleep eating. So, everyone's part of this club now. Now, what do we do? Well, there might be a tactic here where you're, you know, if you're reducing your calories in a day, for an arbitrary number, let's say you're at 1,500 calories for the day. You might not enjoy having, you know, 3 or 4 smaller meals that are 300 or 400 calories each. You might not feel that like you're having enough. It might be psychologically sort of demotivating for you to have such a small meal. But maybe instead of having 3 or 4 meals, you're having 2 and 3 meals. And all of a sudden, they become a little bit larger meals. You know, 500. 600 calories, and for that reason you feel like you're eating a little bit more. You don't feel like you're suffering. So in that way, intermittent fasting might be something that's helpful for you in terms of approach. So intermittent fasting is a tool, it's a tactic, and people, you know, dictate how long they're fasting. Oh, I have an 8-hour feeding window. I'm fasting for 16 hours. I know I'm doing 24 hours of fasting. I'm 1 day on, 1 day off. All these things, in the grand scheme of things, if they are helping you to reduce calories, they're helpful. And it's going to be something that you want to apply as a tactic. Is it for everyone? I'll say no. There's some studies, there's particular populations that it's not good for. If I could use a blanket statement, for most women it's not really helpful because there's an extra hormonal influence for women compared to men. And it is hard for you to maintain the intermittent fasting throughout a long period of time. But it could be a tactic that we use. I think there's a really good article online that goes through all the different intermittent fasting. If you want that link, just send me a message. But what I'm thinking in terms of where it might be helpful, and I've sort of done some testing on my own. I've gone up to 3 days maximum so far of fasting. And I think what is really good, it helps you to really differentiate between hunger and not being hungry, satiated, not satiated. You know, when you're eating, you're going from being hungry to not hungry any longer, and not necessarily going all the way to the point where you're stuffed and you're over full. So getting that mindfulness, that awareness around hunger is really helpful. And I think the most important thing that people learn when they get intermittent fasting is that hunger is not an emergency. And if you sit with the hunger, at times it actually dissipates. And for most people, intermittent fasting, the first 24 hours is hard. I didn't find days 2 and 3 that difficult. Day 1 is always the most difficult. That being said, no one actually has to do intermittent fasting. There's no real reason to be doing fasting unless it helps you. Like I said, it's a tactic, right? You help to feel more aware, and I think that's important where it comes down to everything. It helps you to reduce calories. So that being said, congratulations to everybody. You guys are intermittent fasters, and you're part of the club now.